I'm Barbara Gutierrez, and I'm hosting our next panel. How to release games with digital influencers. 84% of people check on social media before making a purchase decision, myself included. In the gaming segment, it is no different. Find out how to identify the right digital influencer for your campaign, the pay formats, and how to measure results. Rodrigo Azevedo is the founder and CEO of Influence Me, the largest Brazilian company specialized in influence marketing. Remember, this panel will be in Portuguese. If you want to watch it in English, check out the correct web link on our channel. So it is a great pleasure. Let us welcome on our digital stage Rodrigo Azevedo, CEO and founder of Influence Me. How you doing, Rodrigo? I'm great. I'm great. How are you folks doing? Yes, we're great. Anxious for your talk. What have you brought us? I want to speak a bit about, step practical step by step for a gamer developer that wants to have greater viewership through digital influencers. So if you're an indie dev and you're kind of groping around in the dark, please pay attention. You've got the screen, Rodrigo. So, folks, good evening to those who are here on our time zone. Good morning to anyone else, somewhere else. And, come to our chat. Tell us where you're from, what you do. I'm going to start introducing myself. I'm Rodrigo Azevedo. I'm CEO and founder of Influence Me. Our business is digital influence, and we're going to talk about a step-by-step playbook on, how to have something practical to launch a game working with digital influencers. More than just be talking about the rules, I'm going to use a real case. We've just released a super game, Suspects, for the folks at Wildlife. We have a fresh game, so we're going to apply what I'm going to show you here, and I'm going to show you in real life how this client of ours, Wildlife, have done it. So introduce yourselves over the chat. So I'm Rodrigo, Influency, Marketing for Results. We're a agency and a technology. So for brands who don't have their own in-house structure, don't want to outsource, we like Wildlife Studios, we worked as their advertising agency, and we're also a technology platform bringing together a number of innovative tools to help in that work to identify the proper influencer and how to activate them. Some of the brands that work with us, a big team of influencers, 130 people here in Sao Paulo, and who cater to all these brands with a methodology that is focused on always working right. We measure results, we have indicators, and we get our influencers to reach good results. So let's show you what the method is like. To kick it off, I want to be sure that we're all on the same page in terms of what marketing influence is. What is a digital influencer? What is a marketing influence? Our definition of marketing influence, it's a marketing method that consists of activating influent people in promoting something in a continuous cycle. Those words in bold, it's not by chance. We at Influencing Me, we believe influence marketing, it's not an artistic influence, something, it's a method, has to be a method, and it has to be a continuous cycle, because a continuous cycle generates opportunities for improvement. And a digital influencer, somebody on social networks that is unique in some way, because there are three metrics: their reach, number of followers, the engagement of the followers who engage with the influencer, and how relevant this influencer is in one or more topics. So in other words, there is somebody in social networks that can create high impact conversations, reaching specific target audiences about a brand, product, or service. Somebody who can reach consumers in a way that the brand couldn't do it on their own. That's a digital influencer to us. Reach engagement and relevance, allowing to reach consumers in a way that the brand cannot do it on their own in today's world. There's a phrase we say currently: people don't hear you as a brand, they rather hear each other. And that's where digital influencers come along. So, success in influence marketing, any action of digital influencers, especially in the gamer arena, success is right here on this triangle. We developed this simple diagram for everyone to memorize and try to practice this on a daily basis. If you want to have a digital influencing campaign to work right, you have to set up this influence triangle, which is to find the right person, the right influencer, helping them to get to the right message, the what they're going to convey to the audience, and being sure that it's the right audience. So you have to find the right influencer, contribute so that they can put together a pitch that will get to the desired result, the right message, and for them to reach your target audience. So it's a very simple diagram. Now, bringing it to practice is not simple. It's not exact science. The right influencer, there are a number of issues. The right message, it's trial and error. You think the right message is one, and then if you run it, you tweak it, and then the right audience. Technology can help you to be sure that that audience is the one that you need. I'm going to bring a case, a real case of the release of Suspects. It's already a huge phenomenon, and partially, this campaign was epic. I'm going to use the method I just mentioned, a result-focused methodology, to a real case. It's easy to remember and to learn. So the triangle: right influencer, right message, right audience. What's the right influencer? The best influencer to release your game, to launch your game. So here we go. Depends on your budget first, of course, but I would I would do something like this, as what we did for wildlife, and you can apply on the releasing of your game. First, avoid the dispersion. Why are you going to hire an influencer that plays everything in there? They're reaching audiences who are not interested in your game. So start with influencers who play games that are similar to the one that you're releasing. So this beginning, it's good because it's a restricted audience. It's excellent to get your budget to work positive to your favor. So the chances of them interest becoming interested in your game is high because they already play similar game. So we sought out influencers who played games that are based on deduction. Another requirement: if you can, choose influencers with greater engagement. If you have cash to hire 2 influencers only, and you have 10 available, get the top 2 with greatest engagement. That's going to help you further down the road. And finally, the idea of refining the selection of influencers to ensure maximization of your budget. That's a good idea for you to assess who they're talking to. In the case of Suspects, it's a deduction game that even a child can play. However, for the release, our focus was on adults because it's a free to play game, but there's in-app purchase. So we were interested initially in having influencers that could reach adults. So that being said, we had a kind of a blueprint of what the right influencer would be to release Suspects. So we sought them out. Those were the top 10 selected. You probably know many of them here. They bring together the features I mentioned in the prior slide. And now we move to the right message. So we have the right influencers. We have the optimal influencers who talk. They play similar games. They have an audience that might be interested. It's an adult audience. They have high engagement. So let's see what the message could be like. What do they have to share to get to the customers, to the client's goal? Well, the message depends on the goal, but usually those who are releasing a game, the major objective is either downloads, installation, to get the game, to get many downloads and installations. That was the case of Suspects. The installs was the key, the main KPI, and awareness is always wanted. But those who are releasing a game, they want to see the game selling. They want to see the end result. So the message, the right message here, should be seeking downloads and installations. So we had some assumptions, important assumptions that made the difference. First, as to the format, what what format should the influencer use to release the game? So before we were hired, the brand reported that some other ad agency suggested video insertions. Uh, Insertion in YouTube videos is a good format, but it's not the best. If you want to convince somebody that your game is good, show somebody playing your game. And there's a name for that. It's gameplay. So the best format to release a game, it's to hire influencers to run gameplays that could be live or pre-recorded, but it's one or more matches. All. So the right message for a game release, there might be an exception, of course, depending on the game, but most of the time will be a gameplay. So it's the way that it's a playthrough. So that's how they have fun with the game. And if the game is good, that'll cause a formidable effect. So gameplays, playthroughs, and live streams, and in an organic way, they really have to post as if it were organic content. They're going to publish it. They're going to post it. So that's what we told influencers. Play the game as if you were playing, if you had discovered the game on a regular basis. Have fun, make comments. They had freedom. The name of the game was having fun. And still about the message. Another point. Do you agree that when a game is good, you want to play it again and again, right? So you like a game, what do? You play it again. So does it make sense for the influencers say that they like the game, they play it once, and then they have no more videos about the game? So that's fake, that's not real. So we sought influencers who accepted recording several playthroughs and gameplay. So and during their playthrough, the gameplay, they would highlight special items, the uniqueness in terms of deduction. It's a kind of deduction game. So we asked influencers to call adults to play with them, because with adults the challenge would be greater and the gameplay would be more interesting. Other items, it's the voice chat, the deducting who's the killer. It was benefit. Voice chat. It gets fun. It was a free game, and the call to action, the key, this download the game so we can play together, because the fan wants to play with their favorite influencer, and as they were going to run several gameplays, and so download the game. We can play together. I'm going to organize other matches, and that's the right message.
Finally, finding your right audience. Since games have monetization, we were focusing on games played by young adults, influencers who are on the same genre as that game. That would bring people who would be potentially interested in that game, and we analyzed different profiles. So let me show you one of the influencers we selected, Eric Carr. He's a great partner, and I recommend him to anyone who wants to do this. He's a great professional, super young, and we selected this guy out of 10. So that shows you the level of metrics that we analyzed to see if he would be a good influencer for this. First, he had on average 23,000 likes, 327 comments, 325,000 views. One of his videos would have on average 325,000 views. This is a gender split, age split. As you can see, 21 to 43 is in yellow there, most adults. The word cloud, his distribution per state, number of posts per day, which day of the week he published more, the hashtags he used the most, his ats, so who has he been tagging? All of this we found in the InfluenceMe platform that has about 500,000 influencers classified like this. And we use the platform to identify them so that at the end, we could see if Eric Carr was a good profile or not. you don't need to have the influencer platform to do this. You can do this manually. I can't show you how, we don't have much time, but of course, we are showing our software, which really is helpful when you're doing these sorts of analysis. Finally, in our method, we only start working with clients if we have a goal. What is our commitment to the client? Our metric was approved based on this. We created a funnel. What would success be? With the client's budget, we wanted them to have over 32 million followers, that we wanted them to generate over 8 million views, to have over 170,000 interactions, out of which there would be 42,000 clicks and 9,000 installs. This is our goal. If you're going to have an ad with an influencer, write down what you want. That's going to show you a direction, and then everything you're going to do will need to match that goal. If you want 32 million followers, then the way you're selecting influencers, you should reach this figure. If your goal is to have 32 million, you're not going to select influencers with low numbers. So this is going to affect your decision. And this led to a CPM, CPV dashboard, cost per installation. This was our general overview when we started the campaign. And then we started seeing what would be delivered. Here, we're going to select influencers. The more engagement, the better. We call this smart negotiation, which I'm going to describe soon. Service level agreement. So talk to influencers that and sell based on your number of views. And if they do confirm it, they can write it down. If they don't deliver it, they can complement it with other deliveries, because you're paying for a number of views, right? So this is something that we do that works for both sides. And finish the campaign with something we call AAA, analyze, learn, and perfect. So it's a continuous cycle. Start the campaign with several improvement points. Smart negotiation is what you're going to do to negotiate with digital influencers. I'm sure there are some influencers watching, but smart negotiation doesn't mean that you're going to take advantage. You need to have a good negotiation for both sides, or for three sides: the brand, the influencer, and a third side, which is essential: fans. They have to benefit from this. So the best negotiator is a person who is informed. When you're negotiating, before beginning, we know how much each one of their posts is worth, because they usually deliver on media. There's no other way around it. I know how many views I can expect based on their history. It's just a matter of going to YouTube and getting an average. So an influencer will probably give me 500,000 views, is worth this much, while if you're getting 50,000 views, it will be worth another amount. So when you start a negotiation, you know how much is worth accepting or how much you can give. And some of them might not be worth it, because if you close a deal, you're not going to reach your goal, like I said. As a reminder, negotiation is not payment. If you want all of this as a negotiator, you can provide it, but then you need to give more. You need to have secondary social media. You can give them volume bonuses, and that might even be better for the influencer. They might get more. They get happier because they sell more, and you are happier because then you have a better delivery. Just to give you a real case, there's an influencer, John, this is a fake name, with about 1 million followers, 8% engagement, 300,000 average views per video. His maximum CPM was 20 BRL. So one post was going to be worth 6,000 BRL, but he wanted 17,000. He wanted more than what we were willing to offer. So we ended up having a package deal. We got 4 gameplays, 4 YouTube mentions, 4 stories sequences, and 4 YouTube stories, a 17,000 BRL package. He delivered 4 million views. So his real CPM was 4.25. So he got much more, but he also had to deliver more. This was a smart negotiation, which we used with many influencers. And at the end, you need to analyze each individual performance for each influencer. I'm not going to go into each one, but we have it mapped in details, how much they performed, so that we can decide who was the best influencer, who converted their followers into views. Eric Carr was phenomenal. Who was the best at transforming views into engagement? A Dev, Pinando, Final Level, and Fun Babe were the top 4. So that gives you an overview of where each influencer excelled. And you can see what Ade did to get 41% clicks and installs. Let's see what he did, and let's see what messages and triggers he used that we can teach to other influencers to get a better performance. This is finishing the performance with an AAA, learning, analyzing, and perfecting. And then at the end, you have the pleasure of comparing your initial goal, as I mentioned before, to your actual goal, actual performance. Look at that. It was 32 million followers. We got 34, not much above. Our goal was 8 million views. We got 13 million views. That's better. Interactions, 850,000 views. Although gameplays were very interactive, they really got carried away, and this created a great effect with the followers. Look at the number of clicks, 42 to 313,000. And instead of getting 10,000 installs, which was our goal, we delivered 83,000 installs with the same initial budget. We didn't increase anything, so it was much higher. And as a consequence, all of the indicators that analyze the health of this campaign, well, the cost went down and deliveries went up. So this is a summary of what we learned to make it easier for you. First, look for influencers that play similar games. I promised how to launch a game with digital influencers. So as a summary, find influencers that play similar games, prioritize those who have great engagement, and that serve your users' demands. The best format is gameplays, so exclusive gameplays. He's going to record a video playing your game only. Set goals. These goals are going to guide you in your decisions. Have a smart negotiation with each influencer so that it's good for the tripod. Good influencer, good for the brand, and good for the fans. And then you're going to have the effect I just showed you. And finally, AAA. Learn, analyze, and perfect. And then you can start the new cycle, and it's going to be a virtuous cycle for digital influence. When one good content leads you to more good content, greater viewership, and your game is just going to take off. I'd like to invite you to watch this short video that's going to show you exactly what we did, what happened, and what these wonderful influencers said, how the day launch Suspect to generate such great results.
E aí, amigos, aqui quem fala é o Godenote trazendo mais um vídeo pra vocês.
E aí, players, tudo beleza?
Sim, cara! Beleza, galera?
E aí,
Vitaminados?
tem jogo novo no canal.
É um jogo de dedução.
Um jogo muito da hora, muito bonitinho.
Esse jogo aqui se chama Suspects.
Vamos lá!
Ele é um game pra celular.
Começamos como?
Bora!
Esse jogo tem um chat por voz, cara.
Você pode chamar amigos, você pode adicionar amigos.
O bagulho é louco, galera. O bagulho é louco, né?
Um desses animais aqui, gente, é o assassino.
Tô nervoso, mano, eu tô nervoso. Ah, que maravilha, eu sou detetive, galera.
Ah, das digitais, né?
Aham, sei.
Corpo encontrado.
Mano, peraí. Quem me matou? Eu não vi quem me matou.
Não, eu fui atacado.
Que pilantra. Errado.
Aí, ó. Tchau, Cauã.
Mas então, galera, e aí, cara, vocês gostaram do jogo? É muito divertido, né, cara?
Não se esqueça também de baixar o jogo.
Vai lá, baixa pra gente poder jogar junto também, que vai ser muito legal.
Lembra que é de graça, você pode baixar a qualquer momento.
Eu quero ver todo mundo jogando, quero ver cheio de babies aqui, hein?
Tá bom, gente?
Tamo junto.
Até a próxima, galera. Beijo na testa. Fui. Tchau, pessoal.
E é isso, pessoal. As pessoas não estão mais te ouvindo, elas agora ouvem umas às outras. Obrigado.
That's it. People are no longer listening to you, they're listening to each other. Thank you. That's great, Rodrigo. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for all the incredible content you brought us. Thanks, everyone.
Big Festival 2021, the biggest games festival in Latin America.